cut up some of this for Marnie. Cause
No, don't worry about it. She can have nuts for now. Nuts. Bigyan mo siya na. Lagyan mo siya na.
Here, Marnie. Here.
Tanggalin mo yung bigyan mo ito sa kanya. Cut mo yan later. For
Mamaya?
later.
Yeah.
I usually just use the scissors and cut it into sections.
Still chewy. She
I guess the first thing I'd like to know and understand, Jonah, is where you're at. You know, we've been working together for a time now, and I know you've had a lot of distractions and coming and going and things like that. So, how comfortable are you with working with us and with some sense of you know, our lives and what lies ahead?
Marnie, you can do that. That's one I gave it to you. For me,
Yes.
I have no problem with the job, taking care of Marnie. I'm fine with that. But as what we talked before, I want some help for my tax. You know what I'm saying, right? Because before I start here, I talked to you about having a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that possible, or?
Well, we'll talk about that right now.
Because working here, it's fine. I have no problem regarding
Marnie and your Judy.
Marnie and my G. It's not a big deal for me.
See what? When I also asked that question is both Rachel and Colleen, all of us have gone through sort of a learning curve, and things change over time, and things will be changing with you know, sort of Marnie's needs and so on as well. And and it was actually a big deal that things went as smoothly and as well as they did while I was away. That was you know, really reassuring after the difficulties of the 2 previous times I've been away.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big deal. Relative to a contract, the contract that you showed me, so did you have a deduction, or did you pay into unemployment insurance, and were you registered with Workmen's Compensation for British Columbia?
My employer do everything for me.
But tell me what everything is, so I understand.
Like the insurance.
No, the EI. That's because I was a living caregiver, so I knew what it was. So they paid CCP. She has contribution from her own salary, and and the employer's contribution as well, and then the EI, and then of course with her employment, with her contract with, you know, with Audrey and with the living caregiver, like I had, we had like, of course you get the statutory holiday, like you get the vacation pay and the sick leave if you're a regular employee. That's what you get from that contract, and that was because it should be like that.
So did you have paid vacations and
Yeah.
so on too?
They paid my 2 weeks vacation for a year,
Yeah, I have
and
2
then
weeks
they
a
paid
year.
my statutory holiday. Yeah.
That is if you are a full time. That is if you're a full
Full-time
time
caregiver
caregiver, right? That is like 35 to 40 hours
a week.
a week.
A month.
Do you know whether you were registered with Workman's Compensation for BC?
That's the EI, right?
No,
No, it's other. This.
that's employment insurance.
Yeah, it's employment.
Oh.
It's another. I'm not the one who registered. It's Audrey's son.
Maybe you can ask. You can ask.
Oh, maybe I can
yeah,
ask.
you can ask them.
Okay.
Is the workman's compensation is the one that when you injured yourself in the job?
Yeah.
While on the job. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh, that yeah. It's part of the living caregiver because I cut myself and then
Yeah, they
I-
always.
yeah.
Yeah.
I cut myself while working, so I had that.
Well, I'd hoped to have had some answers because Marnie's children, at the conclusion of the visit, and going back to that, my writing them and asking them about their role and how they could have a contract with, that satisfied their requirements. So what they confirmed back to me was this, that they would pay the first $2,000 a month
That's good.
Oh.
of Jonah's compensation. And and I've written back to them and I've said that for Jonah would require a contract, and I've suggested that because Lori is going to look after the tax stuff. Lori's going to be working with me on the
Marnie's tax.
tax stuff. Yeah,
Oh, just-
I've agreed to that.
Oh, that's good. Oh, good for you. You gave in.
Don't put it that way.
Okay.
Because we could have had a fight, or I could have fled, but instead I flowed. I decided that it's just too much hassle, is all this back and forth, and so I wanted a new arrangement going forward. So and I expected an answer by now, because their offer to me lends itself to an actual contract, and that they would administer, and then our responsibility would be to pay anything beyond the $2,000 a month. And so that's what I've said, is you guys can have a contract, you can pay direct what you want to do, and you would pay the first $2,000 to Jonah. And so I've said that I would be fine with that.
Okay.
So that in effect, Marnie's children would be your employer, at least would be the party to the contract that would pay you the $2,000 a month, and they would be the folks on the contract.
Okay. Who's making the contract?
Pardon?
Who's making the contract?
Well, I haven't heard back from them
Cause
yet. They just made the offer,
Okay.
and I said fine, but also this can satisfy your needs for a contract, and also put to deal with once and for all the suggestion of exploitiveness, which really offended me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'd hoped I would know by now. But
Um,
that's what they've offered anyway.
Yeah, Terry.
And I would be okay with that.
Yeah. So if I have a contract, it cannot be my employer.
They're gonna.
No, cause my employer must be the one I work in one roof.
No, that's not necessary.
Cause I don't know. Cause as what I learned, as I know in Audrey, could be in the sign as employer. It's Audrey.
Well, I think because you're under live-in caregiver, now you have an open permit. I don't know. Maybe it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
Okay, it's okay. Because before you were under live-in caregiver, right?
Well,
It
I
says
don't
on
know.
your paper that you're supposed to work for this person on your paper, and you're only supposed to work for one person.
I don't know how to do.
Yeah. Under your,
Why don't we wait for the reply? For sure, Karen already researched about this. If they can be the employer.
I do know they can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I actually looked into it because some months ago she said no,
Yeah.
that they couldn't be, and so I was able to actually get a legal opinion and communicate it back. So the family, they can be the employer.
Yeah.
And I think it would be very useful actually for Lori to administer the contract.
How about your other options? Like, because with me, I pay for my own taxes. I paid my own taxes.
Yeah.
Why can, instead of Jonah getting paid $15 an hour, how about she get paid $17 an hour, but she will apply for her own EI and pay for her own taxes?
Well,
You can also you can tell them that too. I mean, there's two options that for me, because I've been thinking about your situation, her situation, and whatever is I think is easier. She can pay her own because
Yeah, it's the same way in Betty, right?
I pay my own taxes. I pay my taxes 25% of my
Salary.
income, and I didn't look into EI really because I have plans of going back to school. So Jonah, you can look into your EI, or
Yeah, I need to.
or
Yeah.
you can wait for Karen's reply about the contract. So you have options,
yeah,
right?
actually it's Jamie is who I'm talking to.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you have options. I'm just suggesting.
Yeah, I want to know. Like ASAP.
But,
It's
I mean,
been a while.
It's really nice that that they're giving $2,000 a month, so you don't.
It's a
have
big
to
help, yeah.
You have to think about $2,000 a month. I mean, that's what they did to me for 2 months. I think. Remember that?
Yeah,
They
I
paid
will.
me $2,000 a month. That's only that lasted for 2 months.
So I do know that they can be the employer, and I'm quite happy that we top up whatever needs to be topped up,
Yeah.
and
I feel, yeah, because what I feel it's you guys have hard time to give me a contract. So, why if you guys like, agreed if I get $17 per hour and then I pay everything and I'll be fine.
well, what'll happen this way is you would have a contract that would pay you $2,000
Yeah.
a month.
Okay.
And whatever, and then whatever you was above the worked hours is we just simply pay the difference.
Okay.
And I like the idea of their having a contract as well. The only things I want to see in the contract is